We are interrupting programming tonight with breaking news. Nampa city officials have just confirmed Mayor Rick Hogaboam died after suffering a medical emergency earlier this evening in Eagle.
The city of Eagle posting this to Facebook, quote, "It is with the deepest sadness that we must report Mayor Rick Hogaboam experienced a medical emergency tonight and has passed away. We ask the community to please keep his family and loved ones in your prayers during this incredibly difficult time. As we begin to mourn this unbelievable loss, please provide grace while we navigate the loss of not only our mayor, but also our friend."
Yeah, this is just absolutely shocking. Mayor Hogaboam was elected Nampa's mayor on November 4th, just last year. John, I know you were just digging into his background. We had him in studio for a debate, and we were able to talk extensively about his record. He has a long history in Idaho politics.
A long history, in-depth history in the Gem State. He was actually sworn into office in the city of Nampa on January 5th. He previously served as the Canyon County Clerk, where he was responsible for managing the county's budget, elections, court clerks, recorder's office, and much more. He was also the chair for District 3 of the Idaho Association of Counties and served on various committees to help advocate for policies and legislative reform to help improve governance and administration. Hogaboam also served for nearly 4 years as chief of staff to previous mayor Debbie Kling. Hogaboam was also previously elected as a Nampa city councilman and served briefly as a substitute Idaho state senator. That was back in 2021. Hogaboam uniquely held the distinction of having served at city, county, and state jurisdictions, as well as having worked in or with the legislative, judicial, and now executive branches of the government. Hogaboam earned a master's in public administration from Corban University. He was recognized with the Distinguished Graduate Award, as well as a certificate in executive leadership from Cornell University. Most importantly, though, above all else, he was a husband, father, and grandfather.
We do have a crew at Eagle City Hall right now, and we are awaiting an interview with Mayor Brad Pike. We did learn this evening that Mayor Pike of Eagle, who is a former firefighter, was sitting next to Mayor Hogaboam at a meeting with a Treasure Valley partnership. That's where this all happened, at Eagle City Hall, surrounded by his peers, his colleagues, and Mayor Pike began administering CPR. All the individuals there called 911. That town hall meeting was adjourned. The room was cleared. And again, we are learning that Nampa Mayor Rick Hogaboam passed away this evening. Here is a statement from Treasure Valley Partnership on behalf of every mayor and county commissioner. They say, on behalf of the partnership and of our citizens, we are heartbroken to have lost one of our esteemed colleagues. Rick Hogaboam was an exemplary public servant, a dedicated family man, and a true friend. We have more statements from elected officials and others in city government, but I know right now we do have a Nampa City Council member standing by, John.
A very close colleague of his, Councilman Sebastian Griffin, who's actually on vacation right now in Japan. He just got the news moments ago, just like we did. Well, first of all, Councilman Griffin, talk to us about how you're doing right now. I know this news must be tough on you.
Thanks, John. And I can't even imagine how tough it is for Rick's family. I think that's where my heart is right now. Me and all his kids. It's just horrible. I'm 16 hours ahead, and I was on a train, and somebody said, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your mayor," and it felt like satire. Like, this isn't funny. I couldn't believe it. It's a sad day right now for Nampa, for all of the people that were close with Rick, and everybody felt close with Rick. He had that gift. So
he was so well known in Canyon County, Sebastian, and I know he's been involved, like we said, in politics for quite a long time. Tell us a little bit about him and the kind of man that he was.
Well, first and foremost, he was a man of faith. As a former pastor and a devout follower of Christ, I hope everybody remembers him as such. He knew the plan, and I know right now he's got a special place in heaven that he's currently occupying, and it's crazy to think about and to hear. But he was so faith-based, and he was so logical and analytical, and he didn't do anything without a lot of prayer and without a lot of data and a lot of thought. And he was so good. So,
Sebastian, you told us right before we came on the air this evening that you actually knew the mayor before you were elected into city council. Talk to us about some of your memories from high school.
Well, I was a part of Mayor's team council after Mayor Debbie was elected, and Rick was obviously her chief of staff. But even in his time as city council, just being at West Middle School and at Nampa High, he always was involved in the community. He always wanted to be in the classrooms with students, with young leaders, and he made you feel like you were an equal. He had a gift of not only speaking and being able to tell you exactly what he knew because he had the knowledge on so many topics, but he also had the gift of listening and making you feel special. He was a really special person, and I have no real words other than shock. He made young people, old people, and everything in between feel so special and so important.
Sebastian, your message to the mayor's family, friends, colleagues, and the message to your constituents tonight.
Pray for Rick's family. Rick's in a great place right now, but his family has to be here, and his friends have to be here, and we have to live with the loss and carry that from now on. That's tough. We need to pray for his family, his wife Mimi, his kids, his friends. I think we just all, it's one of those earth-shaking moments where it really makes you reflect on your own faith. And right now, we need to be like Rick and turn to Christ, because that's what he would ask us to do, and that's how he would lead us to do in prayer and in thought for those mourning. And there's a lot mourning right now.
Absolutely. Well, Councilman Griffin, we thank you for taking time to speak with us this evening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, Rick, a true professional. Like he said, backed everything up with faith, with data. He was so intelligent. He was so kind. We had the honor of meeting him, like I said, when he came into the studio last year for that debate. I mentioned Eagle Mayor Brad Pike being there tonight when Mayor Hogaboam passed away, and our Aspen Schumpert is live at Eagle City Hall with Mayor Pike right now. Aspen, take it away.
Yeah, hi, Morgan and John here with Eagle Mayor Brad Pike. Shocking and saddening news coming out of this meeting tonight.
Absolutely. And first of all, our condolences and our sympathy, our prayers, and our blessing on his family, because this is something that you wouldn't expect, especially in any setting of this sort. But, you know, here's the deal. This just proves that life is precious, and we take it serious. We should take it seriously. But I just want to thank all of the people that have just reached out already. I mean, this is just breaking, basically. And this is the true Idaho that we moved here for. The love and the companionship and the camaraderie. It's just awesome that the public is already stepping up, and they're just now finding out about it. But really, our focus right now is on Rick and his family. And it's just the irony behind all of this is just something that it's a tragedy.
Yeah, that's a great reminder for everyone. We know you were sitting right next to him when he suffered the medical emergency, wasted no time to try and step in and help.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry to say that's a natural instinct when you go into professional mode. I'm a retired fire captain, and that is just something that I think anybody would do in our profession. But yeah, it was just autopilot, I guess, is what you could say with that. But it's just such a loss. But you have to focus on what the need is at the moment, and the need was to take care of Rick the best we could. But he got immediate support, and good, bad, or indifferent. I was the last person that in his life that was touching him when he passed.
Talk to me about your guys' relationship, being both mayors. You know, what kind of words can you say about him?
Well, Rick was so knowledgeable. I mean, he was a past clerk, county clerk. He just had all the facts. He was always on top of things, always ready to give the details. And we have this is only our second Treasure Valley Partnership meeting, which all the mayors and the commissioners with Ada County and Canyon County come together, collaborate efforts, trying to make the citizenry of all of our communities stronger. And Rick just really had that knowledge base that I felt like he knew what he was talking about when he spoke.
Definitely also the mission of this partnership to get together, you know, and tackle hard topics, including growth and how to best work through, city problems, which was one of the goals of Rick Hogaboam's. I had the chance of talking to him the night he got elected. We were there when he got elected. I know that was very much a goal of his. How, he is someone who touched multiple cities as working in Canyon County, touching multiple of the cities over there. How now do multiple cities heal from something like this?
Well, first of all, we need to come together as a community again, and all of us, I think, will be a tighter unit based on this Treasure Valley partnership that we have. But there's a void now because Rick left in his short time his legacy as the mayor of Nampa. He also left it as a friend to all of us that had the opportunity to serve with him and have good communication with him. So it's a tragic loss tonight, and I'm kind of dumbfounded. I'm just coming down off of that mode that I was in with dealing with the situation.
Of course, all of us at KTVB are keeping his family in our thoughts and prayers, and everyone that was here tonight that was here to, see the medical emergency that he suffered. John and Morgan, we're going to send it back to you for now.
Yeah, just shocking and tragic. Thank you to Mayor Pike for taking the time to talk to us in what is likely a very traumatic moment for so many people that were in attendance tonight. Just to recap, we did learn that Nampa Mayor Rick Hogaboam died tonight. There was a meeting of the Treasure Valley Partnership, TVP, that's a local coalition of mayors and county commissioners. It was hosting its second regional town hall. It was midway through that meeting that Mayor Hogaboam experienced a medical emergency while speaking around 6:45. Mayor Pike, who you just heard from, a former firefighter, former first responder, was sitting right next to him, noticed, immediately responded, as did the Eagle Police Chief, who was already there. So you had people who had experience in CPR and in responding to situations right there. This press release also says Eagle Police, Eagle Fire District, Ada County EMS Services responded quickly. But unfortunately, we do know that Mayor Hogaboam passed away, just recently elected, just recently getting his tenure started. Again, he's had such deep influence and impact in Canyon County and in the city of Nampa, working with former Mayor Kling. But the fact that his mayorship just started in Nampa is just heartbreaking for the constituents who elected him, of course, and for his family and friends and those who knew him so well.
Yeah, most importantly above all, husband, father, grandfather.
Yeah.
We are hearing from a lot of local leaders across the Treasure Valley tonight. In fact, we have a statement from Mayor Robert Simison, president of Association of Idaho and mayor of the city of Meridian. Quote, "Tonight we all lost an advocate for our local communities with the sudden passing of Mayor Rick Hogaboam. The Association of Idaho Cities extends our deepest sympathy and prayers to his wife, Mimi, children, and family. Together, we are all grieving with the city of Nampa and all those who knew him."
Idaho Secretary of State Phil McGrain sent a statement as well, saying, "I'm heartbroken by the news of the passing of Mayor Rick Hogaboam. As the Canyon County Clerk, Rick and I worked closely together. Beyond just doing our jobs, we shared a love for voting, elections, and politics. Last week, he was in my office with his Youth Advisory Council, sharing that passion with the next generation. I'm praying for his family and our community. It is a terrible loss for us all."
Which is what Councilmember Sebastian Griffin just said.
Exactly.
He's still doing it with all the local kids here. That's incredible. We also got a statement from the former Nampa Mayor, Debbie Kling. She wrote, quote, "I'm extremely grieved to hear of the loss of Mayor Hogaboam. He was an amazing husband and young family who we need to keep in our prayers. Rick was such a smart, talented leader who will be greatly missed," end quote.
And we are actively working to learn what happens now, what next steps are, who takes over. I know in the situation in Middleton, where the mayor recently passed away there, the council president was able to step in and fill that void. And that was, of course, solidified during a council meeting. So we're following up on that as well, so that people in Nampa and all those across Idaho know who's going to lead that great city. We will continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates as soon as we learn more. Again, Aspen Schumpert is there right now. She will bring us all the latest, including Mayor Pike from Eagle, what he witnessed and what he saw while he was there. That'll come up on the news at 10 in about 20 minutes. Thanks for joining us.